Canada's Competition Bureau has launched investigations into the parent companies of grocery giants Loblaw and Sobeys over alleged anti-competitive conduct. The commissioner launched the probes in March, saying at the time that there is reason to believe that the firm's use of so-called property controls limits competition in the retail grocery sector. Sobeys owner Empire called the inquiry unlawful. Canada's major grocery chains have come under increasing scrutiny as consumers struggle with rising food prices. All right, let's bring in Sylvain Charlebois, Senior Director at the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Sylvain, welcome. Thank you for being here. Now, the Commissioner of Competition launched a probe saying there's reason to believe the company's use of property controls limits retail competition. Can you explain this? How do these property controls work?
Well, what is alleged here is that grocers would actually limit the kinds of food sold in a strip mall, for example. So if the major tenant is, say, Sobeys or Loblaw, they would make sure that other stores won't be selling similar products. That's one way to do it. Also, what is also alleged is that some grocers, Loblaw and Sobeys, would actually buy land, making sure that the competition doesn't build there, or if they actually mouthball a store, they just leave it there, making sure that no one else actually takes over that building. So you're basically suppressing competition at retail, and location at retail is so critical, especially when it comes to food retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, grocery stores are already facing public backlash on high prices. How does this reflect on the big three chains?
Listen, first of all, I'm not surprised of the accusation. I think for people who have been following the industry, and I've been following the industry for 25 years, this is something that has been going on for a very long time. And of course, even it's been happening for a very long time, it doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that the Canadians are actually willing to accept it, at least not anymore, given what's been happening with food prices and food security in this country. You just heard this week from Food Banks Canada a devastating report telling Canadians that our food security situation is getting worse. So obviously you want to make access not an issue. But of course, when you try to control geography as a retailer, well, and you're suppressing competition, access to food, affordable food, becomes an issue for a lot of people. And I'm thinking mainly about smaller towns, smaller villages where there's basically only one option left.
This is also interesting. What outcome do you anticipate from this probe?
It's hard to tell. So first of all, we need to recognize that the Competition Bureau, with this investigation, which started on March 1st, finally recognizes that it has a job to do. One, it needs to look into issues like this one, and I think it's an important issue to look into. Two, the public needs to be reassured. I mean, a lot of people out there feel unprotected, and the Competition Bureau has a role to play. The bread price fixing scandal investigation has been going on for 9 years, still hasn't been resolved completely. So that's the kind of reputation that the Bureau has. So it's nice to hear that the Bureau will start to become a little bit more proactive with these issues.
Sylvain Charlebois, Senior Director at the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Always good to have you with us. Thank you for this.
Take care.